Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be looking at a price action pattern which is highly successful with a very high success rate and has been declared by many researchers as the pattern with the highest success rate, the highest rate of success where the targets have hit after an entry was taken. And this price action pattern, many of you would have heard this already by now. It is called the head and shoulder pattern. So you guys would have already known this. So today we'll be looking into this pattern, going in depth about why this pattern works in the markets, how to trade on these, and how to improve your accuracy while trading a pattern which is already very accurate. So we'll also look at some psychology points from the buyers and sellers perspectives and how these structures are formed in the markets. So first let us look at what a head and shoulder pattern is. So a head and shoulder pattern, for those of you who don't know already, is a price action pattern and is mainly a reversal pattern. So what is a reversal pattern? So a reversal pattern is basically formed when the price, for example, is in an uptrend, moving in an uptrend, and then it forms a certain reversal pattern here, which we can observe and which we can then as soon as these reversal patterns are being formed, we have to get alerted. We have to stay alerted and look for a change in the trend. So a trend reversal basically. So this reversal basically signals a trend reversal. So an uptrend forms a price action pattern and then is converted to a downtrend. This is called a successful reversal, successful trend reversal, and this is when we say that this price action pattern has been successfully completed. So this, what happens in a head and shoulders is, so when the price is moving in an uptrend initially, the price forms a pattern which looks similar to this. So price moves up higher high and then comes back to the same level, forms an even higher high compared to the previous one and comes back to the same level again and forms a lower high. So it takes support at the same around these same levels, but these highs which are forming are in the shape of these head and shoulders. So these two lower highs, highs which are lower in comparison to this one, are called as the shoulders, and the shoulder, and the highest point is called the head. So this is why it's called a head and shoulders pattern. So what is the market structure logic behind this? From the market structure point of view, what is the logic behind this? So the price was moving in an uptrend, forming higher highs and higher lows, formed a higher high, but then this time the higher low which was formed did not take support at this previous high level. It fell even further down to its previous low, to its previous level, which is the previous low. Now this itself was, let's say, a slight indication or a signal for the sellers, but still it is still an uptrend. It still hasn't broken this low. It's still not in a downtrend, right? And now the next time a high is formed, this high is a higher high again compared to the previous ones. So now again buyers are active, but then what happens is, this is the changing point. The next time a low is formed, it comes all the way back again. So now so now as this big fall occurs, this is when most sellers are, let's say, alerted in the markets. So as soon as this head is formed, this is the shoulder, this is the head, and this is the shoulder again. So as soon as this head is formed and the market falls all the way back down here again, now the sellers are interested, because even though the buyers were able to take the price to a new higher high, the price has again come down to its initial lows, which means that selling pressure is slowly becoming more and more active in this counter, right? And now the next high, now from here on observing further, the next high which is formed by the market is a lower high compared to the previous one. So this is the previous high, and this is a second high, which is a lower high. Now this, from the market structure point of view, from a previous higher high, structure of higher highs, it has for the first time formed a lower high, which is an indicator of reversal. Now, as soon as this has happened, now sellers are immediately active in the market. So as price falls from this head, sellers have begun to enter the market, and there is less aggressive buying already when this is coming down. Now, as the neckline is approached, this support line is also known as the neckline. As this is approached, many people who bought in the final wave, so this wave right here, this is called the final wave, which is the final buying pressure wave. So these people are now proven wrong as it approaches the neckline again. So suppose let's say this is how the price has moved, and I have observed a reversal here from this support, and then I have entered here, right here. But as soon as the price has come down to the neckline again, I am in my losses. Now suppose I have entered here, where will I place my stop loss? My logical stop loss would be here below this support level. So as soon as the price reaches the neckline again, my position is in losses. So I'm already in a state of panic, and now I will start planning out my exit strategy, right? And the stop below this is quite logical, right? Now what happens here is, if this trend line is broken, suppose price moves down further, price breaks this trend line and comes down. Now all these buyers who place their stop losses here, all the buyers who have entered in this wave, final wave, with their stop losses right below the support level, all their stop losses are triggered. Now all these stop loss orders are basically sell orders, right? Now all these sell orders are triggered, and then at once, as soon as all these sell orders begin triggering, momentum increases. And as the momentum increases, more and more sellers observe that, okay, this support is broken, and even more and more sellers start coming into the market. This is how a uptrend is gradually converted into a downtrend due to the selling pressure. This is the basic psychology behind this and why this works from the buyer side and the seller sides, and also from a market structure point of view. So let us look at some examples in this for a better understanding. And before looking at the examples, let's look at when to enter and when to exit, right? So there is no hard and fast rule as to when to enter and when to exit. You can enter at either 2 points. One point, first one, is the aggressive entry, and the second way is more a conservative approach. So what does an aggressive entry mean? An aggressive entry means you have placed a sell limit order right here, a sell stop loss order, which is your entry point basically. So as soon as the neckline is broken, you want to short sell the stock and hope that it falls further down. That is one entry. Now what is the second approach, which is a more conservative approach? This conservative approach basically is, after it has broken the trend line, you still watch the stock, you do not enter. You wait for a pullback and a retest of this previously broken support level. And when you observe a reversal here after the retest, you then take a short trade, hoping that it goes further down. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of both these methods? So advantage of aggressive selling is you get the maximum profit possible, and sometimes the retest does not happen at all. So a conservative trader misses out on that opportunity where a retest does not occur. Price falls straight below. Now the advantage of conservative trader is that he has probabilities on his side, and also the time, right? So if the aggressive seller enters right here and then markets move back, so he has to wait all this period, and then only movement happens for him. So he's waiting more time in this trade. So ideally you wouldn't want to stay in the trade for a longer amount of time, right? You just want quick momentum in your direction, and you want to exit and book profits. So this is the advantage. So advantage of a conservative guy is he has higher probabilities on his side, but at the same time he misses out on certain trades. And the targets and stop losses on entering a head and shoulder pattern. So ideally, when you enter here, if this is your entry point, your stop loss is above this right shoulder, and target is the height of this head, right? So this will give you a good risk to reward ratio, as obviously your head is higher than the shoulder, right? So this would improve your risk to reward. Now let us look at some examples. So first example is TCS. Now TCS in recently has formed head and shoulder pattern twice. So if I remove this and I show you, so this is the head and shoulders pattern tool found in TradingView. You can click on this and you can see here head and shoulders pattern. So basically how you use this is, you first suppose the pattern I'm looking at is this head and shoulders pattern right here. This is the left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder. So if I want to mark this, I will first put it at the base of the left shoulder, then click the topmost point of the left shoulder, and then click again the neckline point, then the head, again the neckline, the right shoulder, and I will click the last point wherever it is being formed. So this is how head and shoulders tool is used in TradingView. Now as you can see, TCS has formed a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and is approaching its trend line gradually. Now what will you do? Obviously, if it breaks, you will take. If it breaks, let's say this level, if it breaks, you can short sell with targets of this much, and your stop loss here. So you can get a decent risk to reward of, let's say, 1.4 to 1.5. So that is, and you also have a support region in this area where your targets will be put. So another one was inverse head and shoulder pattern. Inverse head and shoulder pattern, very similar to the head and shoulder pattern, but is the opposite. So it's just a downtrend is getting converted into an uptrend. So here, as I have indicated, you can see that as soon as this trend line was broken here, an aggressive trader would have taken his trade here with the stop loss below the shoulder and profits whatever the height of this is. So his 1.6 targets were achieved, risk to reward of 1.6, targets achieved, simple. So as you can see here, this is the main disadvantage for an aggressive, somebody who takes an aggressive entry. So stop loss was almost hit, right? So luckily this bounced back from this same area, but this is why we keep our stop loss right below this shoulder, so that we hope that prices take support from these areas and bounce back, which is exactly what happened, right? Now this is the main disadvantage for an aggressive somebody who takes an aggressive entry, because he will have to go through all this, which is difficult. Most of the time he may book his losses here because he doesn't want a positive trade to turn into a negative trade or whatever. So these are the psychology side perspective. So, and a conservative trader would have obviously waited here even after the breakout for a retest. The retest occurred, but then he never saw signs of reversal. He just saw it fall right through. So he would only enter the next time it goes up, takes a retest on this neckline, and then he'll enter here. So this is a relatively better entry than all this, right? So this is the example for TCS. Another example is Maruti Suzuki. So here this is again a textbook reversal pattern formed here. I think you guys can see it yourself. This was the left shoulder formed, this was the head formed, and this was the right shoulder. Now if I use my tool, this head and then the shoulder, right? So this was broken right here. So if I took my entry here with a stop loss above my left shoulder, and then profits according to the height of the head, right? So my height of the head here was about 16%. So if I drag my profit till 16%, so these are my expected levels of targets ideally. But then what else can I observe here? I can observe a zone of support here, right? So this is a support level I'm seeing. So when price approaches this level, I'll see the price action if price is showing any signs of reversals, and if there is a sign of reversals, then I better book my profits right before I go into further losses. But price, there is a very good chance also that price may turn around. Not every, like, there are many other traders who trade on support and resistances as well. Not everybody in the world is looking at this pattern itself, and not everybody has their targets in this area. So I will have to adjust to the price action as well while taking the supports and the targets and stop losses. And another example is in DLF. DLF again, as you can see, this was the left shoulder formed, this was the head formed, and now you cannot call. See, another mistake which many people make is they say this is the left shoulder, this is the head, this is the right shoulder. But does this make any sense drawing a trend line like a neckline like this? This cannot be a neckline, right? So you have to wait and be patient for the formation to take place completely. So this is the left shoulder, this whole thing is the right shoulder, and this small one is the right. This whole thing is the head, and this small rise is the right shoulder. So this is more logical than saying this is my head and shoulder. So as soon as the neckline is broken, you can see the quick momentum immediately. So here again, this is the advantage for an aggressive trader. He took an entry right here. A conservative trader waited for this to happen, but it never happened. And if I would have taken my trade here, and my stop loss right above the right shoulder, and profits about here, because that is approximately the height of my head, right? My height of my head is around 25%. So if I keep 25%, it's around these areas. So we'll see if again this pattern is successful in the future. I only have data till 20th of April because that is the date today. So we can see and we can test it out, back test it yourself, see if it's working for you, see if you're able to make money off of it. And so that's it for today, and thank you, and like and share and subscribe to the channel if you liked the video. Thank you.